Hey, what's up? It's MomAndWeapon.com. This is part 2 of NSA and Oregon State Hospital. So the first part of the video is not titled, besides the text on YouTube. So I was in the middle of that conversation, and I don't even remember where I left off. But surveillance was going on at the state hospital, and I've been explaining this new way of the surveillance. The way it is they basically made the whole planet a prison. It's literally a prison planet. So it used to be in jail, you know, you knew if you're in jail, you would see notices and you'd be arrested and taken in there, and you'd see some here says, your call may be recorded, and this and that. There's cameras watching, you see them up there in the corner of the room or whatever. Well, the NSA surveillance stuff, people don't know that the whole planet is rigged and bugged, and that they have fiber splits all over and in every country, and that they have satellites up above watching, and that they have military radar too. And all these methods, they get voluntary cooperation from a lot of the corporations, and you know, like AT&T or Verizon or T-Mobile, completely voluntary, where they hand over the data without a warrant. And they have a room where they basically split a fiber signal in two, and then they give the fiber signal over to NSA, so they are saving all the data from the internet, every bit of it, every ounce of it. And they have profiles on you. So if so what they do with the metadata, there's the metadata and there's the content. The system separates the two, and it stores both. But with the metadata, it helps them, and you can generate more metadata off the metadata and the content. So you're saving stuff like the time, the date, the IP address. HTTP, there's some useful information with cookies, and you have get, and get is a header, so it'll tell you what file they were downloading and everything. Plus, you can also grab the file as part of the stream. So there's a lot of stuff. That's with HTTP. And then you have the IP protocol too. That's the IP address to and from. And then there's information about each IP and where they're at. And then the internet companies are handing over information on the person, you know, person's name, account information, billing information, and they're tracking literally everything. So they know how much data you've downloaded, how much you've uploaded, and it's just a massive database. Every single connection, whether it's cellular or some type of home connection, doesn't matter what country you're in. And then your cell phone's also got a lot of information about it, so as you're traveling around there, they're able to tell where you're at, your information, not just by GPS, but by triangulation of the signals and by what tower you're using. And it's really insane. And then GPS adds another layer of information onto that, so they're tracking you physically. But that's not the only way they're doing it. They got satellites. Okay, the satellites are physically imaging your body, creating holographic scans of the entire planet's surface, and they're tracking things and objects as they're moving around, kind of like space debris. Now they can track things up in space, but they're doing it on the ground. So they see when a car is moving or a person's moving, and they know who that is because they've mapped it all out. They don't lose track of that person and where they're at. That's a secret Department of Defense system that is there, but Snowden's revelations did not get that information because he's a low level. Didn't have access to all the systems. Russell Tice, NSA whistleblower, confirmed that. Russ Tice had access to more of it, like the satellite capability and stuff like that. So then they got a lot of imaging stuff with satellites. What you could do is see through walls, building penetrating tomography, ground penetrating tomography, body scans, scan your blood, scan your brain. There's a lot of invasive stuff they can do. So anyway, all this has been available since before I got messed up, and but after I got messed up, I'm targeted at the state hospital, 2008. They're using all this. They can also listen to you. So there's no microphones around, but they can hear you. How can they do that? They have interferometry, which is like a laser microphone type thing. and so they can hear everything. And then there's brainwave decoding, so they tap what you're saying, the signals from your brain, and what you're hearing and how you're processing the information and stuff. So they got access to your thoughts, fully patented stuff. And anyway, so it used to be in the jails you'd be getting spied on into it. Now it's out in the community that they're doing it. They got all your calls. They could pull this up in a database, and they go like, oh, look at all the calls, and they listen to the calls. Okay, every single person on the planet. That's what they have there. And that used to be in jails. Now it's the whole planet. Anyway, they also have electronic warfare, and they can electronically seize and arrest people. And I'm one of those people. And it's because I tried to expose it. I tried to go to the media. This would have been a huge fucking blow to the Department of Justice and the NSA in Oregon State if this had been exposed. Cameras and microphones of staff members discussing this technology being used, repeating conversations. Like, I had access to all my calls, all my conversations, everything. Even stuff I was doing in the shower. How'd they do that? Because they could see through the walls. And they're repeating stuff out in the hallways about it, under microphones. And I dated and timed all that, and then I sent emails to FBI, governor. All these people, state employees, administrators got copies. They all came in and covered it up. I said, please save the security video of this stuff. And then, once they covered that up, they hit me with this weapon to set me up to look mentally ill. And now they've been torturing me to my death, and it's been like 7 years. And they have that ability. And so down at the street level, though, who has access to this? The police, the state sheriffs, the FBI, and Bill Benning was just talking about this. This is something you don't hear about too much in the media, is that all these local officials have access to this information, and they pull up this information, they have it secretly, and they just hide it from you that they have access. They still use it, and they're doing parallel construction where they're secretly keeping this information secret, but on the side they're finding other ways to set you up and use it and stuff. So you're entrapped when you get targeted with this stuff. And they're using it for crimes and to protect the government more so than people's safety. It's insane. They can't go to jail for any of it, but you can be thrown into a jail and framed for something that they did, or to hide, and nothing's going to come out about it in the whole trial or nothing, because they keep it secret. Everything's kept secret. The more advanced surveillance investigation tools are kept secret, so your public defender doesn't have that for your case, but they have it for theirs. The prosecutors got it and everything, and they're spying on you and your attorneys. It's fucking insane. Alright, well, that's it. That's NSA Part 2. NSA and Oregon State Hospital. I mean, it's so insane. I'm a target now, and they can impede my body with radiation because they can amp up the signal. Instead of just imaging my body, they want to hurt me and massage and hurt my body and heat my body and mess with my balls. They want to hurt me, dude. They want to beam. There's something called voice to skull, so they use these signals to make vibrations in my fucking brain travel to my cochlea, so I hear that. They're doing stuff to me, and it's a electronic warfare weapon, man. And interesting, no one knows this, but in physics, signals heterodyne. So they can heterodyne radar frequencies into a person's brain and alter the brain. It's a very advanced brain-computer interface. Cops have this too. They're out in the streets, they have it. And I'm telling you, it's parallel construction because they're using it, but they're not telling nobody they have it. So they're pulling stuff out of people's heads. They're communicating in secretly. Then they're attacking people with it. And they all have the power to flag and get any person hit with it. It's an automated system. As an automated system, it's effortless. You flag a person, and everywhere they go, there's signals flooding into their space after that because they're being tracked. They know where to target the person, and they're being hit. And it's computerized. So everywhere you go, you're getting hit because it's deployed on a national level all across America. That's how they hit Myron Mayer and Alexis and different people. And seriously, and they use all these surveillance tools to track people. They'd be reading my emails and my Facebook. Cops in Springfield had access to that in 2010. I was like, they're repeating conversations and they're talking about all this. How'd they find out? Because they were spying on me with all this shit and they were fully involved. Alright? Well, anyway, that's my story, man. Oregon State Hospital, there's going to be evidence there if anyone investigates this. This is the most serious surveillance crime ever. Ever. This is going to totally expose the administration. This is going to expose all these cops and all these officials who have been doing this for 70 years, different things. Going back to COINTELPRO and MK Ultra and Minaret, it's been non-stop. It's never stopped.